So we should walk naked in carnival.
I think you should walk naked in your life.
Okay, alright. Yo. What's up? So this is a new series I'm trying called Lived Experiences, alright? We'll be touching on different topics. Today, I want to talk about carnival, right? More in line with Notting Hill Carnival, which is the UK's carnival, but carnival generally. I guess I could only really comment on Grenada Carnival and Notting Hill Carnival. With me today, I have Habby, the missus, my wife, and we're going to just talk about our different lived experiences and just have a little discussion. Anything you want to ask after, drop it in the comments and then we'll be able to get to it. Alright, so, and the main reason that we're talking about it is because this weekend is normally Carnival weekend, Notting Hill Carnival in the UK, right? And today is a bank holiday Monday. People will be all in the streets, but obviously this one's a bit different. So, how are you feeling about no carnival this year?
I mean, being that there's the whole coronavirus, COVID-19 thing, I can understand, I'm sad, but I'm not at the same time because, living is far more greater than partying. There's always next year.
Is there?
There's always next. Or there's always another year after that, or after that.
Well, the mad thing is I'm seeing so many videos of people partying and having a good time and all of that. I mean, to each his or her own, but I staying inside. I ain't going nowhere. Alright, so when was the first time you went to Notting Hill? Matter of fact, have you ever been to any other carnival other than Notting Hill Carnival?
No. No.
Tell you, it's sad, people, it's sad.
No.
When was the first time you've experienced Notting Hill Carnival? How old are you?
When I first came to this country, when we first came in, my dad would take us to Carnival.
So how old were you then?
I probably was about, I'll probably say about 11, 10, 11.
11! Back
My
home,
dad
that's...
took us.
You're a seasoned vet in carnival by the time you reach 11,
Yeah.
Anyway, and what was that like?
That was fun. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember much, but I know that it was just nice being with my family and my brothers.
Okay.
And then my dad would have the pram, and then it was quite difficult to go through people because we had a pram, and my youngest brother was on the pram.
Pause. Do not go carnival with a pram.
We were that family.
Do not do that.
We were that family that had a child, one on the head, and one on the pram.
That's
and
so annoying. So annoying.
We were those people.
So, what do you think carnival is about then?
I mean, based on my knowledge.
Yeah, from your experience as well.
Also, not only the fact that I went to carnival with my family the first time, later on in life I started going with the people who I lived around. So I started going on my own, and I started going with friends of mine every year. So it became like a religious. Not religious. It became like an annual thing that we all did.
Yeah, but what's your idea? What do you think carnival's about, and how has it changed? As in, what's your initial idea of what carnival is or was meant to be, and how has it changed as you?
Well, I know it comes from like the riot, 19, I don't remember.
It was from the 60s.
Yeah, 1960s when they had the riot in
Notting Hill?
Well,
Notting Hill area?
Labrador Grove.
Yeah, well, we'll just say Notting Hill area, which is where the carnival happens.
So I know it started from there, and I know it's meant to, I guess it's meant to celebrate the Caribbean culture generally, and just also it has some connotation, or it derived from, the slaves, trying to,
This is the problem I have, right? And it's not just about what you're saying and how you experience carnival, but generally it's like, I think it's the same thing with like black people and slavery and all that. People just don't know. People aren't educated about the history of these things. So then people just go, and then they don't know what to expect. Some of them might come back and say, "Oh, it's boring. It's this, it's that," because they don't understand it, and they're not willing to go back and check some of the history. I'm not going to go into the history, but I can tell you, a lot of the carnival stuff that evolved over time came out from slaves in the Caribbean having their one or whatever few days of celebration, and they'd be mocking the masters and the slave owners and these people. This was their one time to revel, to rebel, to just have a good time and do whatever. And now we've made it a bit more modern.
Yeah.
With all the...
I mean, now I think it has a different meaning for this generation. And I think the generation before that had a different meaning. And I think, everything,
you can't just change the meaning of something when you don't understand what it meant before.
Yeah.
Because the way a lot of people do it now, when they change the meaning of things, they then look at the older people and say, "Oh, what do you know? This is how it is now."
But I don't think they change it.
But you didn't create it. So how could you then be saying that this is the way it is and you just need to get along with it when you weren't the creator, you came into it, and you're trying to change it without fully understanding or respecting where it came from?
Okay, I can understand the whole idea of respecting where it came from. I think everyone should be aware of the foundations. However, I don't feel like anyone is trying to change anything. I feel as though it's just if you go to different parts of the Caribbean, there's different style of carnival. This style is basically modeled to the culture that exists in that area. So Notting Hill Carnival is a culture that exists in London. It'll be different to the one in Trinidad. It'll be different to the one in Grenada. It's just different cultures taking this meaning and I guess in some ways merging it with their current culture as well as the past. So that's what I think it is. I don't feel people are changing the meaning. I just think in different countries it will just mean different things based on the culture that exists around.
I get that, and I accept that things do evolve and you can add to things and improve on it. But how are you improving on something when you don't know the roots?
I know, like I said, I think most people should be aware of the roots.
Okay, so with that in mind, what to you does Notting Hill Carnival represent? If you're saying people are making it their own, what does it represent?
For me, it means really bonding with my friends, because that's one of the only time my friends and I, generally people I know, one of the only time we meet up. Like I know I have a group of friends who I meet up every year.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Yes, I know anytime people meet up is having a good time and all that, but what does Carnival represent?
Carnival represent
because you can meet up with your friends in any party.
Yeah,
anywhere.
but it means not just a party. It means enjoying my friends. We listen to be honest, it's just a time for me just to let my hair down with people I like, dance the way I want to with no care in the world, drink with my friends, and generally have the best time. That's what it means to me. It could mean something different for somebody else.
Yes, so then that just sounds like any party.
No, it's not. But then that's the thing. In other parties, I'm not as free. I don't feel that I don't have that sense of freedom. I don't have that sense of culture. I don't have that sense of unity. Whereas I feel like it could be other parties, but I've never felt that way. That energy only exists when I'm in Carnival, the Notting Hill Carnival.
Shall I tell you why that is? Right? Because without knowing it, it's because there's already a base culture in place.
Probably, yeah.
Right? There's already the Caribbean people celebrating the whole revolting against the masters thing.
Yeah.
Wearing the colorful costumes, having the different types of masks, which they don't really do too much hair. But all of these little aspects is what really makes it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people here, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? I'm just saying that they can or should try and include or involve themselves in other aspects of Carnival, right? A lot of the people here, when they go to Carnival, they only go for that one single aspect of it. the street party part of it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see all the other aspects of it, and those aspects are what actually make the carnival what it is, especially in the other Caribbean countries, which is where it's originating from. The whole point of it is to try and inject a bit of the Caribbean culture into the culture here.
Mm-hmm.
But then if we get to the point where the people here are then injecting more of their culture into it, it then becomes a thing of where is the Caribbean culture anymore in it?
But then
and I'm not saying that to say that people shouldn't try and, adapt it or
I'm not. What I'm
it.
saying, the Notting Hill Carnival. I wish I would, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Notting Hill Carnival really began kicked off when there was a riot, right? That happened in the UK, in Notting Hill. So the people at the time from the Caribbean islands were felt like their culture wasn't represented, so they created their own. Fair enough. But they also grew up here, so they also had elements of growing up in London and having a different culture, so having two different culture in one person. And now you're telling me that everyone should just strip that identity.
I never said that.
Just so they could go back to the foundations.
No.
I feel like the
foundation
of Carnival at that time were from these people who felt the need to riot, who felt the need to express their who felt the need to fight for freedom because they were marginalized. That's where the culture came from. That's where this UK Carnival started.
So then, since you're saying that, tell me what this UK Carnival culture is about. What are they fighting for? What's the message being sent out from Carnival? Tell me.
I think now there's a whole thing of I don't think there is on the line. I can't even speak. On everything, I do feel like there's not. This carnival is not fighting for anything. There's not like there's nothing to fight for. There's nothing there's no common theme. It's more about just having fun, letting your hair down, partying.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a street party.
But then I don't feel like everyone in our if you think about it, in our day-to-day life, we're having to work these jobs, we're having to do things, and we're having to be this person at this point. They happen to be mothers, they happen to be fathers, they happen to be everything to everyone. Whereas this moment is a time for just yourself. So I don't feel like you have to be fighting everything. Your enjoyment doesn't have to relate to suffering and fighting. There are times you just want to have fun and relax.
That is true, and this is why you can have 1,000,001 street parties if you want to. The whole idea of Carnival here, which was created by the Caribbean people, was to stand together and fight for something, for justice and rights. So my thing is, if you just want to have a basic street party, go ahead. But the people that want the carnival, they should be allowed to celebrate the Caribbean culture as well. Don't take the people's carnival, inject your own thing in it, and then tell them this is what you should be doing. Because at that point,
But then you kind of neglect.
Wait.
I get the whole Caribbean thing.
Wait. At that point, the things that they were fighting for is now being pushed under the carpet again.
Not necessarily. It's evolving because there are many. It's like when we.
Have the problems gone? Have the problems gone?
Well, it's not just affecting Caribbean people. It's affecting most black people who are of minority. So it's not.
This is the thing. We can't just deal with everybody. The Caribbean black people in general, have issues. Let's deal with their issues with this piece of the culture that they've introduced. Other people have their thing. We can tackle it with that part of their thing that they introduced.
Yeah, but a lot of people, money is tied to Carnival. So Carnival doesn't just belong to... Notting Hill Carnival doesn't just belong to the Caribbean people. And I think that's where it goes... That's where you lose me, to be honest, because... You lose me completely because it's not just about the Caribbean people. Yes, there is injection of your culture. That's fair enough. You should be proud of that. But it's also inclusive and has been inclusive since the beginning to bring people together.
But it is.
Huh?
It is.
But then you saying that it should just focus on just the Caribbean culture.
That's not what I'm saying.
It's kind of saying it should literally only be a Caribbean thing.
That's
and
not what
I
I'm saying.
personally, as a Nigerian black woman, I don't get it, and I'm not for that.
That's not what I'm saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. I said several times, right? Several times. I don't mind people injecting things and modernizing it and adding to it, but they need to respect the underlying bit of that. And
I
that's what I'm
respect
saying.
it, but I don't want anyone telling me I can't join a street party that I'm probably paying tax for. I'm joining it, and I'm gonna have fun.
This is a problem with a lot of people from the UK that's not Caribbean based or don't understand the culture.
But I'm paying tax.
What does that have to do with anything?
Heavily, so I should enjoy myself in a street party that is inclusive. Because you're saying that. You should celebrate just. Maybe I'm getting it wrong.
I never said we should celebrate just the Caribbean culture. I'm saying it is a huge aspect of how it got created. And so let's not forget it. Let's not get lost in the whole partying and forget the underlying reasons.
But I even think Caribbean people also get lost in the party and the underlying thing of it. A lot of people travel. A lot of people travel to various countries not to celebrate the culture, but to get on bad, to do this, do this. So you can't tell me I should learn the culture when the Caribbean people don't know the culture.
Great that she said that, right? Because this brings us to the point now that Notting Hill Carnival is way different to Carnival in every one of those other Caribbean countries.
But I feel like every of those Caribbean countries have different ways of. I've never been to one, so I can't say.
Exactly, you can't say. This is called lived experiences, right? I have lived it. I've experienced it in other countries.
But you only experienced it in Grenada and in Rotterdam.
Okay.
That's the only two places.
Where have you experienced it?
3 places.
Where have you experienced it?
So, I mean, you can't talk about the whole Caribbean island.
I'm not talking about for the whole Caribbean island.
You can only speak about Carriacou, Grenada, Notting Hill, and Rotterdam. That's the only 4 things you can talk about.
Nope. And I've experienced it in St. Vincent as well, right?
How long ago was that?
I lived and worked in St. Vincent for a whole year.
But how long ago was that?
It doesn't matter when.
Yeah, it does.
No,
because it could have changed.
It's called lived experiences. I've lived it, I've experienced it, right? So this is a point I'm making. If you come to Juve in Notting Hill, right? Well, the jabs are getting better. Shout out to DJ Bones and Island Mass, because they've done a lot to bring the whole jab culture here, right? But they're completely different, right? You cannot take Juve from the Caribbean and compare it to like a Notting Hill, because this is what we look at. Wait. Let me make the point I'm making. The whole point is in the Caribbean, even though it's straight a bit, right? We have to admit. Just wait. Let me say what I'm saying. I've lived it. You haven't.
I've seen it.
Because it's straight a little bit, right? Straight a bit from the original thing, right? Oh my gosh, just let me see what I'm saying. Right? It's straight a bit from the original things. Can you please just stop doing that? Seriously. Let me just make the point.
Yeah, make your point. I'm not saying anything.
Right. So even though it's straight a bit, right? It's still closer to the culture. You can go to like Slum and all these guys in Grenada, right? And they'll give you a bit of the history of the jab, all these things, right? They still try to hold on to a bit of the culture. Here, people don't even know what it is. People just see it as, you just go and you put paint and oil on your skin and you jump around and stuff like that. They don't know what it means. It means nothing to them. And that's what I'm saying. Because even though you have the differences in the cultures and some of them straight, when you go back to some of the sources, they have an underlying and an understanding of what the culture is.
So it's like me taking you to a part of Nigeria and expecting that or not even like bringing to a party and expecting you to go around and say, oh, what is this about? Where is this from? Oh my goodness, where does it come? Nobody really does that. But I can understand where we need to, in retrospect, we need to understand and learn a lot of the Black British history. In doing so, we'll understand and learn about Black British Carnival. Because there is a difference. I feel like a lot of Caribbean people come here feeling like they have ownership of Notting Hill Carnival, when in reality, it doesn't. There is no.
That's my thing.
Yeah, but the ownership needs to be. It needs to. There are sense of ownership in terms of this is derived from the Caribbean people, because the Caribbean people were the first Black people to come to the UK or to come to England.
No, not necessarily. There have been Black people here from before.
Okay, but like I guess as a group.
No, we actually, the people who came here were the ones that created Notting Hill Carnival. That's the most we can say related to that.
I guess what I'm just trying to say is that the ownership aspect of it, I don't understand, and I don't know why.
Well, I'm not even talking about ownership. I'm just asking that people respect the culture, and because it's because
I
it's
think
such
Caribbean people should respect the culture too.
Who says no? Nobody says no.
And in saying that, Aaron, not everybody okay, so not everybody sees Carnival as just a party. Everybody.
Nah.
And I feel like no one sits and go, oh my gosh, let's just give thanks to this and the other. If that's the case, we should all have a minute silence or 2 minute silence about the people who created this, who had passed. We should then just revive that and have people remember them. And we need to learn more about our Black British history that hasn't been taught to us.
But these things do happen. There's events that I don't even know if the Tabernacle is still about. There are events that used to take place there. All these things happen. Like if you go to some of the steel pan stuff, they'll talk about some of the people that probably passed away and all these things. People just don't know. I guess the problem is there needs to be more of an education.
Generally.
There just needs to be more things educating people. Oh, those of you who don't know, check out, I think it's Know Your Caribbean. Fiona has that page on Instagram. It's brilliant. There's a lot of historical stuff that she talks about there. So, get to know your Caribbean, right? Even if you're from a direct, immediate African background, there's nothing wrong with learning about the Caribbean. Just the same way it has to happen the other way around, alright? Alright, so, quickly, because we've been going on for a while, what are some of your most exciting lived experiences of Carnival, Notting Hill Carnival?
First one was sharing it with my family, my mum, my dad and stuff. Second one was when I was younger, I always forget his name.
I saw the picture of Little Rick from Barbados.
I met Little Rick when I was younger. That's another one. I always forget his name. But that was one. And like me and my friend at the time, we had it was a nice memory to keep alive. And the last one was probably the year before last, where I just had fun with my friends. So yeah, that was, enjoyed it.
It's mad because even for me, growing up, carnivals are kind of a thing. Like Juve. Yeah, Camboulet morning. If you don't know what Camboulet is, Camboulet morning, then I can't help you. Check out Know Your Caribbean and you'll find out more. But
I think I need to go.
All the jabs, they'd come, like, walk down the road dragging chain and blowing like horns and stuff like that. And that used to be scary. Like literally as a little boy, I used to run under the bed, me and like friends, run under the bed and hide and all these things because we were scared, right? They'd be carrying snakes and all these things. So those are some of my first memories. Then just going with friends, seeing the shot knees, with all the bells and the colorful stuff and the mirrors. We used to see the Veco, right? All these represent different aspects of Carnival and different rebellions. Seeing the people with all the different plaques and the signs. That's a form of protest. That's what Carnival was about. That's what it was born from.
Yeah,
it
but
was birthed
now
from.
it's a beautiful mixture of
Yes, let me
colours,
just.
beautiful
I'm telling
outfits,
about my
gorgeous
experiences.
hair headpiece,
Oh my gosh.
looking cute.
Can you let me just get my stuff off?
Now it's just elevated.
Like I said,
in
I'm
my
just
opinion.
telling you about my experiences, right? There's that. Then there's all the colorful, imaginative costumes, right? Don't get me wrong, I still like the costumes now, but people need to be a bit more creative.
Very sexy.
A lot of the time, they just see what Trinidad does and then they just mimic it.
Very sexy.
And you see this thing
I
about very
know.
sexy?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't mind. I'm just like,
Can you just wear it?
do your thing, honey.
You see? That's why there's the
No.
culture from the carnival is dying.
No.
That's exactly why it's dying.
What?
Because it's all about
You make it
wearing
right.
the least amount of
Look
stuff.
cute.
When you see people in carnival like in New York, it's just body paint or wearing
No,
nothing.
but they take it to another level.
That's
Aaron.
what I'm saying.
Another level.
So
they
who-
literally have
who
nothing,
states where the level
and they
is?
have big.
Oh my gosh, 2 states where the level is. Nobody is there to regulate anything, and with the way things are going with people, it's like the less you wear, the better, which I never really got, because if you fully, truly understand what carnival is about, you'd know it's not about, and I'm not saying everybody does this, but it's not about denigrating yourself or making yourself.
Denigrating yourself.
I just said I know not everybody does this. So all those people who go around wearing like
Yeah, but
a
I don't feel
G-string
like
and
people
body
wearing
paint.
G-string are denigrating. I don't
And
feel
body
like they're doing.
paint.
I don't feel like they're doing that, Aaron. They just.
What are
They're
they?
just happy with their bodies.
I'm old school then,
I'm
right?
sorry, but they just.
Everybody could be happy with their
I don't
bodies,
feel like they're denigrating.
but
anything.
carnival is not about you coming and showing like how much you paid for your boob jobs
No,
and your
some
butt
people
implants.
work out really hard
Nobody
the whole
says no.
year and want to show their body.
But it's not
There's
about
nothing
that.
wrong with that. Show your body, honey.
It's not about that.
Well done. I'll be there clapping for you.
Can you just stop 1 second,
Well
please?
done.
Are you hearing anything I'm saying?
I am hearing you, but there are people who
It's
work
not. But guess what you're
hard
saying?
and
You're
they look
saying
good.
you are saying that's like you body shaming. What about the people who
And there are
who-
people who are proud of their body, who've had children, who look beautiful regardless. Have
Exactly.
beautiful makeup. There's nothing. I'm just saying
Exactly.
there are different types of bodies, and we
Okay,
just need to learn to
what's the
celebrate
purpose?
those
What's the
things.
purpose of wearing a G-string and body paint only?
Well, you're just comfortable. There's no purpose. It's just like you're comfortable with your skin. This is
You're
my
comfortable in
skin,
your skin.
my naked truth.
That has nothing to do with being comfortable in your skin.
Some people are, but if you're comfortable enough, if I don't personally have that comfort level with my body yet, but if you have, okay, I do.
Comfort level with your body.
I do.
I never understood that, right? Because just about a lot of people who go carnival are
Celebrating your
comfortable.
curve.
A lot of people who go carnival are comfortable with their body, right? But they won't go and just walk around naked.
No, you don't have to walk around naked, but celebrate
But
yourself.
that's what they're doing.
But then the thing is, I don't think it's right for us to judge.
I'm not
anybody.
judging. I'm
Come on.
pointing out. I'm
You're
pointing out. It's a fact.
You're judging.
You see somebody walking around naked.
But
what's
how
the-
does that affect you?
Because
If-
guess what? Because guess what? Now you've taken it away from being a family event to where now I have to censor people because you want to just show off that you have some curves or you have you got your new breast from Dr. Whoever or your new
Yeah,
butt
but
implants.
that's not.
Like why?
We should pay good money for it.
So why come to? That's not what the carnival is there for.
I'm just joking, but I'm half joking and I'm half not, because I don't feel like it's within my. I don't feel like I'm in a place to judge anybody based on what they choose or what they want to do with their body and how they choose to express themselves physically.
But it's not about judging people. It's about being inclusive, because I'm saying if you dress like that, now I cannot bring my kids.
Yeah, but then
But then what?
why is it? Okay, what about the men? We're not talking about the men.
What
We're
do
just
men-
talking about just the women.
And this is a problem.
Men walk
This is the
around
problem.
with their top off.
Yes.
No one says it's a child friendly. This is gonna. Sorry. Oh my god. I don't feel that we are in a place to judge anybody for what they choose to do or how they choose to express themselves, because we don't know what journey that person have had to take to be where they are, and I feel like this whole idea of we were born naked.
Yeah, okay, where are you going with this? Let me hear.
We were born naked.
Uh-huh.
And
so carnival should just be about getting naked?
No, but I'm just saying we were born naked, and we all need to learn to stop objectifying each other based on nudity, and we should start celebrating each other.
So we should walk naked in carnival?
I think you should walk naked in your life.
Okay, alright, I realize where this is going. This is not really going anywhere, right? The thing is, like, men, this is what I don't understand, right? And I just want, I know y'all gonna correct me if I'm wrong, right? Y'all don't see the massive disparities where in a lot of things you do, women are the one that are told that they have to show as much skin as possible because sex sells, whereas the men just wear like shorts. They don't have to put any effort into anything.
Mm.
Right? And we're cool with that. It's mad, right? The thing is, yes, you can wear whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, but when you do it, just keep in mind that there's people there, families, people who come to see and celebrate a cultural event. At the end of the day, Carnival is meant to be a cultural event celebration, right? It has just moved on to being a street party because most people don't even want to go see a lot of the actual cultural features, which is just crazy, right? Because every time I've gone to Notting Hill Carnival, I see a lot of people just jumping around or don't even have any clue what's happening. They don't get what's going on. They just see, oh, the pretty colors on the costumes. A lot of the times when people design costumes, they have meaning behind them. Mm. There's a theme. How many people actually try to find out what the themes are?
Yes, okay. Yeah, there is that. But there's one of, actually, I didn't even mention this. You asked me what my favourite moments are. There was one time, I think a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, where like it was raining, probably last night.
Don't cover your mouth. It's hard to hear.
Where it was when it was raining, and there was I think she was 70-year-old woman, and her daughter was out. She came to Carnival with her daughter. Her daughter was quite young. At the time, I didn't know she was a journalist. And she was just talking to me, and I was talking to her. We had so much fun. I can't remember exactly what I said to her, but whatever I said to her was positive. But she just had such a... the woman actually tweeted, the journalist actually tweeted saying how much fun her mother had, and she hadn't been out in ages. So for many people, Carnival means many things, and you can't be the authority that tells people what Carnival should be for them, because I think for many people it's just different. And yes, we need to learn Black British culture. We need to learn the history. We need to learn every culture. We need to learn about other cultures that exist, as well as we need to learn our own culture generally. But we can't. I don't agree with the idea of making people feel like they must. Following one way is the right way, and other way is just not valid. That's why I don't believe. I think Carnival should be for.
I don't believe that either.
What the individual believe it should be for them.
I don't believe that either. Oh, we can't just say it. It can be something for you. It can mean something to you. Mm-hmm. But that actual thing that's there, you should have respect for it as an entity.
Okay, you talk about respect a lot. What is it that you want people to respect?
The culture.
What is the culture?
This is what I'm saying. The steel pan, right? The calypso competitions, right? The types of masks. There's different types of masks. Understand what it means. Understand even why Carnival was started.
But do you think this is something that a lot of the trucks or the float promote? Because if they don't promote it, how are people meant to question that and find out about these things?
What do you mean promote? How?
Like the band owners or
Well, yeah, the people who have the bands.
Do they
promote it?
Do they promote the story behind it? or do they just promote the fancy costume?
No, but
the sexy girls.
That's the thing. No, when you see the costume, and this is the next thing too. A lot of the people who are the creatives, I can't say a lot. Some of the creatives are not trained. They don't. When I say trained, they don't understand having a flow of theme, or well, at least it seems that way. Let me not.
Some of them are costume designers.
No, I know that. That's what I said. I've met some of them. We've interviewed some of them before, gone behind the scenes, so I know some of them are. But there are some people who are just there as artists and designers without fully understanding the culture and understanding what it is they're adding to the culture. Because when you come in as a designer or a creator, you need to understand that you're meeting something in place, and your thing is to elevate it and to add your touches to it. But a lot of people go in just thinking, what's the skimpiest, sexiest thing we can put in there to get money?
Yeah, to sell, because everything is about...
And that's the bits I don't like. I like the fact that it brings people from different cultures together and all of that. But it's when people don't want to know anything more than just the parties. That's the bit that gets to me. Right? Anyway, in wrapping it up, right? No carnival this year. What do you think is going to be like next year? You think there's going to be a carnival next year? What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
I don't think so. If there is, I think it'll be in a small, in a not even isolated place, in a very controlled environment. That's what I think. I feel like the people who have been rallying against the Notting Hill Carnival are probably going to have more leg to stand on. That's what I fear.
Right.
Actually.
Now that's a brilliant point. This is why for me it comes back to the culture, because if somebody now comes to try and attack it, we can always fall back on the culture and the reason was created, right? But if there's no essence behind it, no substance, you could just say it's just another street party that people are abusing and loud music and people behaving unruly, but that's not what it is. So if you keep that aspect at its core and you build on it, then I think it'll be able to survive.
I hope so. Well, for me, I've missed it, but I understand. I'm big enough to not cry about it. Yeah. And I personally don't feel like I need to party. I need to party with my friends, maybe go to their house and relax and chill. But I don't have that yearn to go out and dance. I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I hear that. I think it's going to be back next year, but like you said, in a more controlled environment. I've seen some videos where there are people within little barricades and stuff, but that's...
Social distance.
Yeah, that's
Social
crazy.
Distance fat.
That's not going to work. But because the way the whole thing is set up, it's all about interactions and connections and things like that, so it's not going to work.
Some people met the people they're married to in Carnival. Some people had their first date. And there are many other types of people who attend Carnival. They're not just, they go from various sorts of life. So, I feel like Carnival is here to stay, but we have to be smart about it and come together.
Yeah. Just get to know the culture, understand it, right?
And you are right about making a cultural thing, because then...
But it is.
I mean, but no, not making it. I mean, you're right about highlighting the fact that it's a cultural event which needs to continue, because it celebrates. In the long and short, to round everything up, Carnival is a beautiful thing. All I'll say is just be sure to respect the culture. Right? I don't have my Nigerian flag.
We don't need that.
Why? Green, white, green.
Okay,
I'm wearing the white.
So
there's a plant, green,
like I said,
and
to
green.
sum it up, right?
Green, white, green.
We just need to respect the culture a bit more, understand it properly, and contribute to it. Yeah, to sum it all up, we really need to get to understand and know the culture and support it fully. Not just the street party aspect of it. All the satellite, all the satellite bits of it, the steel pan, the soca or calypso competitions, all the different aspects of the mass, join the mass bands, try to learn about the themes behind the costumes, all these things, right? Just support it in every way you can.
Be proactive.
Buy the food. Yeah, be proactive. Buy the food from the vendors who are there. Most of them, or a lot of them, sell Caribbean food, right? Stop saying Jamaican food. It's Caribbean food, right? Caribbean food. A lot of them might be selling
Is
food.
jerk chicken Caribbean or Jamaican?
Jerk chicken is a Jamaican thing.
There we go.
So people, y'all need to stop seeing jerk chicken and thinking it's a Caribbean thing, right? Yes, there are other Caribbean islands that use certain types of jerk seasoning. It's a bit different. But that's more of a Jamaican thing. Anyway, support the carnival in that way. And just follow the rules and instructions, and we'll be back again next year, hot and ready to go on the road again, right? Support all the soca artists from everywhere. Don't just wait for carnival time. Like during the year, support them.
So we just need to learn to support each other, and I feel like segregating each other and making this about this more than this is not important at this point. I think we just need to learn to financially support each other. We need to actively go and talk to people, make these small vendors relevant, buy food from them, because this is probably their means of income. So that's just what I would suggest. And yeah, be good, be fabulous, and ready for next year. And behave.
Simple as that. Anyway, this has been the first one of lived experiences.
So we have really cool stuff coming up next, okay? Don't stop. We'll be talking more about ourselves, in depth about, not necessarily us, but our lived in experience of other things, of things that we've been through, things that we've experienced. So tune in.
Nobody told me about this.
You better follow, like, subscribe. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so see you guys next time. Peace.